Hey. It says live, and so we're going to act like we're live, and we're actually just testing some things out. And hey, you guys, it is like 6:29. We're going to get started with our webinar in about. Will you be able to pull up the script on that one? Okay, so you guys, we are so excited because this is our first time doing this together, and we have put a lot of TLC, tender loving care, and a little bit of frustrating loving care in it too. So, and then you're actually going to want to have the script, and so we need to see the comment too.
Right. So how do I do that?
So you got to split screen it. Split screen it, baby.
Well, you got to do that. Okay. I'm not the technology girl.
You know what? We're gonna. You know what? Just pull up the other page, and then we can just see. It is 6:30. We are going to get started, and in just a moment, we're actually going to move away from being live on the call to our screen. But we wanted to say hi first and foremost. Hi. It's Thanksgiving Eve, and a lot of you are at home cooking turkey and pies and with your families. And so, whoever has taken the time to be on this call tonight, we are grateful for you.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We couldn't think of a better way to spend our Thanksgiving Eve than to be here with you, being in a state of gratitude and really celebrating and acknowledging everything that we have in our lives today, right now. So thank you for being here. We're super excited, like Naja said.
Super excited. So we're gonna, with that said, we are going to head on over to our slideshow and get things rolling.
All right, we'll see you on the other side.
We'll see you.
Okay, actually, we need to see, can they hear us?
Oh, can they hear us? If you can hear us, let us know. If you can't hear us, let us know. If you're having any challenges with seeing us or anything like that, just let us know. And it's actually on a little bit of a time delay, which is kind of cool, but
yeah, I can still see us, so that means...
No, that's because it's on a time delay. Right? So, there we are.
Please type in the little chat box
let
there.
us know. Oh, here we go. Share.
Oh, okay.
So this is really cool because we're using a totally different technology for this. Can you scroll up real quick? Awesome. Yay. There we go. Excelente. So now you can actually go. Okay, so we want to know who's here. So do a quick shout out for us. Let us know you're here. Let us know you can hear us. Let us know you actually can't see us, but let us know that you can see the screen, because we want to make sure that before we actually get going, that you can participate.
Yeah.
And okay, so
I don't know how to split screen.
there you go. There you go. That's okay. So here we go, guys. We are at our live workshop called Visioning a Brighter 2016 with Naja Hayward and Justine Arian. So we're so grateful, really, that you all have joined us today. Justine and I felt that Thanksgiving was the perfect time to come together because it's a time when we reflect and that's okay. It's a time that we reflect and focus on gratitude, accomplishment, and intention. It's also the ideal time to wrap up the past year and head into a more purposeful, more productive, and more profitable one.
All right, so why are we here? So we're here, you know, Naja and I were having a discussion on preparing our profit plan for 2016 and preparing our strategic action. And we realized we needed to step back and really look at the past year and what we've accomplished first. And really to find gratitude in all that we've experienced, both the positive and the seemingly negative.
And it's so funny because we really started to dig deep into saying, okay, let's look at how much money we want to make next year and what kind of programs do we want to create. And we started with that first. And almost simultaneously, we both stopped and said, hold on, we actually really need to get clear on what our purpose is for next year. What are we grateful for in this past year? What have we already accomplished? Like, let's just stand in that space of gratitude so that we can close this out with just really clean and bring nothing but positive, awesome energy into the next year. So we want to tell you a little bit about who we are. And it's so exciting for me to really share a little bit about my family, because if I'm on Facebook or social media, I try not to do that a lot. I really try and protect my family, but people that are here, we know each other. And so my son, that's me and my son, Micah. He's a 16-year-old baseball player, just, very competitive. And he and I travel together. We play together. He's my buddy. He's someone that I really care about. He's the reason that I do everything that I do. I'm also a world traveler. I've been all over the world. I'm a salsa dance lover and trash TV lover, kind of, loving some scandal and how to get away with murder. That's just who I am in my personal life. But professionally, in 2008, I started a tea company called Naja Tea, and I had been working as the director of business relations for a nonprofit, and was really, really trying to look at, I was watching the woman that I worked with really stand in her purpose. Every single time she got up on a stage and spoke, she was inspiring hundreds and thousands of people. And I was really forced to look at, what am I here for? What am I here to accomplish? What am I here to do in this world? And I really started to dig deep into, how I was raised. And one of the things that my grandmother and I did on a regular basis was we would celebrate with tea. In the mornings, we started our day with tea. If there was a holiday or a birthday, it was, let's have a tea party. And so I started to research it as an industry, and I created this company called Naja Tea. And within about 6 months of launching that business, I had really big customers like Trump and USC and British Airways. And so I started having people ask me, Naja, how did you do that? How did you create a business like that where you're sold in grocery stores? How did you do your branding and your sales and your operations? And so I started coaching people. And I started supporting people in bringing their unique gifts and finding their purpose. And I realized that was really where my passion lied. And so that's how I got to be doing what I'm doing today as a lifestyle architect and a business strategist, supporting women and a handful of really cool men on how to bring their unique gifts to life.
Yay, Naja. So powerful, powerful lady, which is why I am partnered up with her. And I'm Justine Arian. And I just wanted to give shout outs. Thank you for letting us know you can hear us and that you could see us when we were on. And we're so happy to have you here. So a little bit about me is, I always knew from a young age that I wanted to empower girls and women, but I wasn't really sure what that would look like. And as I got, so let me back up even before that is, I was born cross-eyed. I was born I have an older brother who is considered genius. I have a very strong father figure who is very prominent in the community and in the union and, very well known in the community. And so I always felt less than. I felt I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't smart enough. I didn't have my own identity or strong sense of self. And so I struggled with that a lot growing up. And really, when I didn't think I was smart enough to go to college, and then when I applied, I got accepted to all 5 universities I applied to. And, so it shows a little bit about our limiting beliefs, the view that we have of ourselves when we start off as children and the way we see ourselves in the world, that we're really seeing it with these colored lenses, that aren't showing the reality of who we really are. And I don't think we develop that until we get older and we bring consciousness to our experiences. And so for me, it was really the first huge life-changing moment was giving birth to my first child. And it was this really waking up to my own power and my own strength as a woman. And I was trained as a life coach in 2003. And that's also the same year I became pregnant with my daughter, and she was born in 2004. And so I decided, I really need to start working with other women in becoming empowered through their own birth experiences. And that's when not only was my daughter born, but so was my life purpose. And that evolved, and I had another child, and I became a childbirth educator. And you can see on the slide here, this is one of the classes that I taught, and my daughter's there sitting in front of me. And I was really passionate about that, and I became a doula. And I eventually created the empowered birth method. But I knew that wasn't it. I knew it wasn't just about giving birth. I knew there was a lot more that I wanted to do. And as I had another child, and the challenges of really finding balance in my life, and being an entrepreneur, and I work down at the port. I work as a longshoreman. And so and I've evolved into a clerk. But there are so many challenges in trying to really live powerfully on my own terms, in a way where I felt supported, in a way where I felt really good and fulfilled and in alignment with my values and what was really important to me. And so, to make a long story short, I was really awakened to how powerful I am. And I knew then that that's what I wanted to help other women with. And my family's motto is, we are here to make a difference. And I believe each one of us are here to do that. So I love to work with people, women in particular, but I have some amazing, powerful male clients as well, and really into tapping into your own power and stepping up into the world in a bigger way so that you can really make a difference in the way that you're here to make. So that's a little bit about who I am, and you'll get to know us a little bit more later.
This is why I partnered with Justine, because she's a spectacular human being who has such integrity and passion and compassion, and everything that she just said warms my heart, because I know it's who she was born to be, and she was born into a family who nurtured that in her, and she has really nurtured it in herself. And so I love you.
Thank you. I love you too. Hey y'all, we've been through a lot.
to have you guys commenting already, and to really have people you guys could be so many places right now, with your family. This is Thanksgiving Eve, and so you have no idea how grateful, despite we've been through a lot just putting this together, and believe me, you guys will be in that class, putting your webinar out there without wanting to strangle your partner, or putting your webinar out there without crying your eyes out, one or the other. But anyway, it's been an exciting time, and we're so blessed to have you guys all here. So let me tell you, tonight is all about a process for powerfully completing this year and putting our attention to setting intentions for what we want the new year to look like. We also really want to share our definition of what Justine and I have termed soulful success, and the steps to get you there.
So later in the webinar, we'll have a special invitation for you, of course. We want to, further this beautiful thing that we're starting together. But so be sure to stay until the end, and we'll have some Q&A and also some fun prizes for you. So
prizes.
Yay! It's the season of giving. So, so that you get the most out of our time together, we just ask that you take a moment to get comfortable. You may be cooking, you may be driving right now, so just do the best you can. Try and turn off all distractions, and then just have a pen and piece of paper handy, because we'll be guiding you through some reflective and important processes that will leave you really, we hope, with clarity, some confidence, and just really feeling good. And it'll be fun.
It will be fun. Yeah, baby. We're going to have a little surprise for you guys, so stick around.
Yeah. So, okay, so we'd like to start off with acknowledgement, okay? And this is something I've really had to work on personally, because I don't know about you, but I tend to be a person who focuses on what hasn't been done or what's not going right. And it's taken me a lot to get to the place of really focusing on what is right and what is good, and having that be the centerpiece of, you know, how I live. And so acknowledgement is, you know, it starts with us. And I know a lot of us have a hard time acknowledging ourselves, but we're going to ask you to do that tonight.
Yeah, and you know, and as women, we don't do that. We can acknowledge everyone else outside of ourselves, and yet we don't take that moment to just stop and recognize what we've done. I mean, we birth children, my goodness, and we don't even stop to acknowledge that. And so when we look at the other aspects of our lives, our businesses, our relationships, our health, and everything that we do to make those things great, we have to just take this moment of acknowledgement. And we want you to keep on putting some comments in so that we know that you can hear us. That's the best way for us to know that you're with us.
So right now, we'd love for you to grab your pen and paper, and if you can't do that because you're driving or cooking, then just go ahead and think about the questions we're going to ask you in your mind, and just acknowledge yourself quietly in your mind. So what we'd like to do is we'd love for you to share with us. So be ready to tell us some of what you've accomplished of this year. And really the core of everything is you. So it starts with you. Who are you? So we want you to acknowledge 3 things that you are proud of about who you are. And then share them with us in the chat box. 3 things you're proud of about who you are. So for me, you know, I am proud that I am a compassionate leader. I am proud that I have a high level of integrity. You know, I always try and do the right thing and do what I say I'm going to do, and treat people with respect. And I am proud that I have a big, kind, generous heart. Big, loving heart. And those things are what make me, those are part of what make me uniquely who I am, and are expressed not only in my personal life, but also in my business. So I'm also a branding strategist. And so when you look at your personal brand is expressed in your everyday life. It's not just through your business, but it's also how you express yourself in your day-to-day interactions, right? So when you get really clear on who you are and the qualities that you possess that make you who you are, you can live them, be them, express them in a way that is consistent with your brand.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think that's so important. And I wanted to tell a little acknowledgement story of my own that I experienced about 3 years ago. And it was, I met someone who didn't even know me. We were strangers. We knew each other very, very briefly. And we were at a meeting, and my car was towed. My brand new car was towed because I had parked it in the wrong place. And so this woman, who literally knew me for about 5 hours, for 2 days, for 2 entire days, she drove me around to go pay this and go here and go. I had to just deal with so many different aspects of getting this car out of the tow yard. And so after the second day, when all was said and done, we had gotten a bite to eat right before I actually got my car. And I got in my car and I said, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate this." And she started laughing. And I said, "Why are you laughing?" She said, you're like the corporate woman. And I said, "What do you mean by that?" She said, "You have been through hell in the last 2 days, and you finally you had your accomplishment, which was getting my car, and you're on to the next thing. You didn't even really stop to breathe and take a moment to really acknowledge yourself for everything that you went through." And I remember in that moment, I remember thinking in that moment, I will never do this again. One, I wanted to acknowledge her in a greater way and really show my gratitude for what she had done for me. But also, I wanted to acknowledge myself, because there was so much frustration in that process, and I dealt with it really with grace. And so And so that was a lesson for me that anything that I do, acknowledgement is not just about the big things. It's not just about saying, wow, I made a $50,000 deal, or it's not just the big things. It's the small things. It's the celebrating it in a moment, some ice cream to acknowledge your child, or acknowledging, oh, okay, I lost 3 pounds this week, or acknowledging, wow, I actually was kind to myself 3 days in a row, and I didn't have this, self-talk of dislike, just small things for ourselves.
Yeah, so let's get into the practice of acknowledging ourselves more. And so what we'd like you to do now is just to really think about this past year. Take inventory, or even the last 6 months if you can't think back that far. And what have you accomplished? We want you to write down on your paper and in the chat box, if you will, 3 to 5 meaningful things that you feel good about having accomplished in your business or in your life. Small or big, go ahead and take credit for them now. So please write those down and share in the chat box, if you will. And just want to check in. Can everyone still hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Is that going well?
Yeah.
Okay, it's hard to tell. But if you guys can still hear us, please put in that you can hear us.
Okay, so we're here, and we're actually writing ourselves what we're acknowledging from this past year, of both our personal and our professional accomplishments. And so we just want to take a moment of kind of quiet to allow you that space to really think about that. Maybe take about 30 more seconds. You said
Okay. So, all right. So
we're just making sure that there's no technical difficulties, because I know you all are cooking, so we want to make sure that maybe you can just take a quick sec to let us know. It's really important that you let us know that you're still around. That helps us know that technology is working, and that we're working. Okay. So let's jump into gratitude. Now, gratitude is really big. Obviously, this time of year is when so many of us start to talk about gratitude, and we start to think about what we're grateful for in our lives and in our businesses, and those things that, those things that we are just thankful to have. There's so many things to be grateful for, and yet we just take so much of it for granted. But the more we focus on what we have, what is good and what we appreciate, the more that we actually call those things into our life. So it's actually a part of the intention process, is really stepping into a space of gratitude. Now, gratitude is not just about looking at what is right or what is positive. Sometimes the lessons are in the challenging moments. So we want to talk about what you're grateful for. And really, this is an important step in this entire process. Everything that I do on a daily basis, even through the challenges of putting on this webinar, Justine and I have learned so much. I'm so grateful for this experience. I'm so grateful for the challenges of putting together the slideshow and getting the technology together, because it's going to make me better at supporting my clients when they have to put on webinars, which is something that I always tell them to do. I've learned new information, which is so much about who I am. And so in that space of gratitude, we want you to just take a moment, get your pen and paper back up. We want you to look at what is good and what do you appreciate. And now, I love when we talk about our family and our kids and that we're grateful for them. It's so important because they're so much a part of our foundation. And I want you to really look at things outside of that space that's good and that you appreciate in your life. So why don't you take a second, list 10 things, people, or situations that you are grateful for right now. And I wish that I had a turkey going in my oven because I'd be so grateful for that smell right now. I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
Yes. Saving ourselves for tomorrow.
Exactly. But list those 10 things, people, or situations that you are grateful for right now. And now we want to look at, we want to share one thing that you weren't grateful for at first, but now you see as a gift. And I actually want to tell a little story about a friend of mine who was telling me his laptop was stolen, literally out of his house. Someone broke into his, not broke into his house, he accidentally left his door open. They went into his home and stole his laptop. Now, any of you who are entrepreneurs know that losing your laptop being gone, it feels like death, right? But through the process that he went through, he learned really a couple of things, like you got to keep yourself safe and your family safe and close your door, and that was just a reminder. But two, he had to have an insurance adjuster come into his home, and the insurance adjuster ended up being this karate expert, and he had set an intention to start taking karate in the new year. And so they started talking. The guy told him what he does, and he was so excited, and he thought, wow, I would not have met this person who was actually a really high-level karate person. He wouldn't have met him had this not happened. And he was able to easily go out and get a new laptop, and everything's on the cloud, and so it didn't really take a lot away.
So sometimes there's this opportunity that we don't even know what it is in the moment, and we think that something unfortunate has happened to us, and we don't see the value or the gift in it. But when, this little story that Naja shared, and I'm sure you have your own story similar, you can think of a time when everything turned out exactly how it was supposed to, and that you could find the gift in that experience and have gratitude for that.
And Amanda Long actually said she's driven, compassionate, and giving. I think that she was acknowledging herself.
Yay!
Right? Yeah,
yay,
thanks, Amanda. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Deanna, you said this is a great gift for us. You're so welcome. You are all our gift to us for being here, and so we're glad to have you. So glad to have you. We also have Millie Mill is here. Yay! And we have Laura Jane. So we see that you all are still on the call. And Sean Marie. That's really good. So we're glad to have you guys here still. And thanks for checking back in on us. Okay, so if you want to share, you want to share a couple of things that you're grateful for. And I know tomorrow you guys will be around your dinner table with your families, and you'll be talking about this. So, give you a little preparation as well.
Okay. So we want to pack in a lot in this time, and we realize time is moving fast. So we're going to move along, and we cannot forget the celebration piece.
Like no,
right? We just want to do this.
So so we've acknowledged, right? We've acknowledged the past year and really looked at what we created, what we did, looking at what we accomplished in 2015. Gratitude. We looked at what we're grateful for, the quote unquote good and bad, right? Kind of like you don't call kids bad, so it's not really bad, they're lessons. But what are the things that we're grateful for, even if in that moment we didn't feel gratitude toward them? And now it's time to celebrate. So the only way to really celebrate is by putting on a little bit of music,
getting up and boogieing. Yeah, we want, right now, we want to celebrate with you. So there's a lot of ways to celebrate, and it doesn't have to be a big deal. It can be something just as simple as turning on a song and getting up and dancing.
So let's celebrate. Get on up, you guys. Let's celebrate your accomplishments and acknowledge yourself. Let's celebrate what we're grateful for.
Let's celebrate who we are.
Yes.
As leaders, as visionaries, as entrepreneurs, as big, kind-hearted souls.
Yeah, baby. Blast throughout the year. We know you guys know this song, so sing it in your kitchen with your families.
Celebrate your party with you.
Come on now.
All right, we needed this. We need this?
Yeah, baby, we needed this.
All right. Who can not use a little more fun and lightheartedness in their life, right? All right.
Awesome.
So we're honoring and celebrating you right now.
Yes.
Yay.
Indeed.
All right. So let's look at, we you've acknowledged yourself, who you are and what you've accomplished. You've looked at what you're grateful for, the gifts big and small, and we just did a little celebration. And you can celebrate in a much bigger way if you'd like to, and we encourage you to do that. But what we'd like to do now is to really start to prepare you for your future and setting powerful intentions for what you want to build, create, grow, plant, reap, and sow.
Yes, baby, yeah. And I would say it's through, gratitude is first and foremost the reason that anything that I've accomplished has come my way. I was not born to be the woman that I am today. I don't believe that. I do believe I was born to be the woman that I am today, but I wasn't born into circumstances that would create this person. And so I step every single day into a space of gratitude for everything that I have, for every part of who I am, for the people that I have in my life. And that's the first step. Intention, I would say, is the second step for why I've created the life and the business and everything that I have. Is because over the last several years, this is how I go into each step, is by really getting clear on my intentions, who I intend to be first and foremost, and what I intend to create. And so intentions and goals are different. Let's get really clear on that first. We will be doing goal setting in one of our upcoming events, but tonight we want to look at different intentions. Let's start with who you intend to be. And what I want you to think about is a word that describes what you intend to do more of, have more of, or really be more of in this coming year. For instance, I intend to be more bold and visible in 2016. And I'm not naturally outgoing, honestly, believe it or not. I'm pretty shy, and for a long time I was an introvert. But this coming year, recognition is big. I want to start speaking more, being bold and visible, and it will be risky, but it's also going to move me closer to my goal. Yes. This is so emotional for me to really look at what I'm creating for my life. It's scary when you start to step into your greatness. But when we look at what we want to create, it is scary, and it's just breaking through that fear and knowing that whatever the outcome, that you put that effort and that energy into it. So
who do you intend to be for this coming year?
Yeah, who do you intend to be in this coming year?
Please type it into the chat box. We want to know who's here and what your intention is for how you be in the world. And it's really, who you be is really more important than anything else you do. It's really, we want to know who's here and what your intention is for how. Hang on one second. Technical difficulty there. All right, we got it. So this is really, it's about the impact that you have on other people. And when we talk about, your purpose, that is really the core of what we believe purpose is. It's about the impact that you have on others by who you really are being in the world. So go ahead and share with us in the chat, and we want to know what your intention is for your way of being in 2016.
So one of the things that I like to look at when I think about intention, some people think about, so we're setting an intention for 2016, right? We don't want to set a New Year's resolution. And one thing that Justine and I really agree upon is that New Year's resolutions don't work for the most part. And so one of the things that we create are New Year's themes. And that theme is really focused around an intention that you have for your life and your business. So for instance, 3 years ago in 2013, I created, my theme for the year was deliberate success. And I knew that everything that I did throughout that year was about really building a business that was financially lucrative and financially successful. And so I could look back at the end of that year and I had really accomplished my goal. That was my first year making 6 figures in my business. Because I put so much time and effort and energy and really hustled to make that happen, the next year I created a theme of, or an intention for having a more passionate and playful 2014. And so I started salsa dancing and I started dating again, and I was actively bringing more joy into my life. And this last year has been about getting back to the basics. So my theme for this year has been getting back to the basics of really stepping down and stepping back, I should say, and looking at my business as something that will live beyond me. And so in order for that to happen in our business, your foundation has to be solid. As consultants and coaches, oftentimes what happens is you make money when you're doing the work. And so the challenge is you're more of like it's more of like a big job, right? Rather than you building a viable business. And so getting back to the basics for me was building that solid foundation so that I have a business that lives beyond me. So what we want you to do right now is really identify one intention that you have for the remainder of 2015 first and foremost. Like, what is it that you want to complete this year off in a really big way? What's one intention that you have for yourself? And this can be, it can be a number of clients. It can be some sort of what we call a BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal that you want to accomplish to clear the year out. So first we want you to identify that.
And I want to give some shout outs here. I'm seeing the chat comments now. Amanda says, I'm realizing how much and how far I've come from last year at this time. And I'm kind of amazed. I feel like I am not where I should be, but really feel like I have done a lot and have made huge progress this year. So that's great, because we can tend to get caught up on the shoulds, right? And should all over ourselves. And instead, you're focusing now, on really what you have done this year. So that is what we really wanted you to be doing tonight, and we'd love you to be doing that more consistently in your life all the time.
All the time.
So yay! Thank you for sharing that, Amanda. And
we're going to be sharing how we can support you through this process on an ongoing basis. And obviously, we have an hour together right now. And our hour together is really about, closing out this year. But we also want to be able to support you in living fully in your life and creating the type of business that supports that life in 2016. And we're going to share ways for us to do that together. But right now, just really stay in this solid space of how are you going, what's the one intention that you have to close out 2015? And now let's talk about your 2016 theme. And this is really where the fun begins, right? And so one of the things that we're going to gift all of you who've been on the call is a list. They're going to be a list of words that you can pull from, because sometimes, sometimes it can be a challenge, like, oh gosh, what can my theme be? So we want to give you some prompts that will help you. But just start to think about, what is it that you want to do, and who do you want to be in 2016 as a theme? And so I gave you some examples from my own life. And some of us, if we work a lot, some of us want to get back into that space of just self-care and nurturing ourselves. So think about that. If we feel like our business hasn't quite made it to the point that we want to be, maybe there's an opportunity for you to stop pushing more and gain some of the skills that you need to have a more solid foundation for your business without it feeling hard and pressured. But really look at your 2016 theme and start to write that down. So now's a good time to just kind of take some notes of what that could potentially be, and then play with it even more throughout the week.
And Diana says, typed in the chat, speak up my truth. Speak my truth.
Oh,
that's
yes.
Awesome. Love that, Diana. It's really, when we really understand and know our truth, and we can express that, being fully self-expressed and speaking our truth, that's when we're really making a difference. We're really having an impact on other people by being authentically who we are and standing in our truth. And when we stand in our truth, we're standing for other people too and their truth. So that's awesome, Diana. And we're proud of you too. I see your other comment in here.
We are proud of you. We're going to celebrate you right in this moment. Come on, celebrate Diana. Come on.
All right.
Okay.
So we'd love for you to type in if you have a theme, if you thought of a theme, and maybe, you know, if in this moment you haven't thought of one, this can be sort of your follow-up homework. You can take this into the weekend and create a theme for yourself, you know, make it fun, make it a joyful experience, because that's what we're all about. It's like we do the hard work in our businesses and in our lives every day, and we can't forget, like, make it joyful and fun too, because if not, what's the point, right? So let's see what you all are creating. We'd love to know that.
Yes. Okay. So many of you, you're thinking about your themes right now, and we want to. There's still so much. Oh my gosh, there's still so much that we want to share. Like, we could be with you forever, but we want to make sure that we really respect your time. So we want to talk to you about
soulful success.
And some of you are like, what in the world is soulful success?
So let's, you know, this was kind of cool. We looked up the definition of soul, and we found this definition that really resonated with us. So we'd like to share it with you. And it is the essence or embodiment of a specified quality. So when you think of it that way, it's like, what is that essence of success that you would like to experience? What is it, you know, you get to create it. It's like, who are you really at a soul level? And what is the essence of you, right? And so when you're really clear on that, and when you can bring that forth, then you create a business that's really authentic and really aligned with your soul. And when you're aligned with your soul, there is nothing to do but succeed. Success is the only option when you're aligned with your soul and your soul's purpose. So that's what we're talking about. That's what soulful success is. It comes from within. So our approach, Naja and I have, you know, we've both been coaches for a long time. We've been working with people, developing processes with our clients over the years. We have huge bodies of work that we've created and developed and implemented. And we've done a lot of work on ourselves to get to where we are today and with our clients. And so we've come together powerfully to really create a process and to create these steps to soulful success, and we'd like to share those steps with you. Right?
Absolutely. So the first step in the process of soulful success, and again, just to reiterate, so Justine and I have done all of these elements we've done with our clients. At some point or another, we've done pieces and components of this with our clients, and we've done it for ourselves. But what we've done is actually put together a comprehensive process that when you go through this and when you complete this process, you are now in alignment with who you are and what you are meant to put out to the world. And so that first step is getting crystal clear on your vision, what you would like to see in the world, and in particular in your business, because that's really our focus today. But your business can be nothing if your life is not what it is that you want it to be. So, what you would like to see in the world, and in particular your business, and purpose, the impact you are here to make.
Yes. And that's really one of the foundational pieces before you can do anything else, before you can really have a true level of success. We can have small successes, you know, but to really get to the heart of success, we need to do the foundational work. So that's one of the major foundational pieces. The step 2 is identifying your core values and how they're vital to your success. So knowing what is most important to you and what drives you and keeps you in alignment, keeps you balanced, it keeps you feeling fulfilled and on purpose. And when we make choices consciously from our values, we're aligned with our soul's calling. So soulful success really starts with clarity and alignment with your values.
The next step is transform limiting beliefs that hold you back. And to me, it's like, wow, when you can actually go through this process, your life will be transformed. The thing that holds us back from reaching our potential is our beliefs, really. We all have limiting beliefs. And the difference is that people who are conscious of their beliefs and have tools to change them are really the most successful.
Yes. We all have more potential than we ever even know or realize or achieve. And it's our limiting beliefs that hold us back from reaching that. So what we do in our programs, and you'll hear a little bit more about this later, but what we do is we really provide the tools. We really bring the consciousness to your limiting beliefs, and we all have them. We all do. So it's bringing the consciousness to what they are and how they have a stronghold on us, really, and how they're limiting us, and then having the tools to release them so that they no longer stop us and hold us back.
So, interestingly enough, our limiting beliefs can be really innocuous. Like they can be something that we don't even realize, and that is just playing a little script in the back of our head on a regular basis. So really, we're going to get solid on that. Next, we're going to create effective new habits. Oh my gosh, you guys, our habits are our everything. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis to work for or against your success? Are you saying that you want one thing and yet your habits and your daily actions are working in another way? So create effective new habits, success habits, time management, prioritizing, self-care, affirmations, consistent action, support, etc. 5 minutes before we started this call, Justine did a habit that she does often when we're going through a space of stress, and she held us in a space to get us clear, to allow us to stop for a moment, and to allow us to be vessels of giving for you all. Now, had we jumped on this call and we were stressed and frazzled and we're still in that space, we would be giving that to you. And yet that's a habit that she created for when we go through stressful moments, which we've been through, as I've shared several times in this process of putting on this webinar. But that's one type of habit.
Yeah. We can show you and teach you how to take time to really ground yourself and to really tap into your own strength, your own inner strength, and the truth of who you are, so that you're really showing up powerfully, you're showing up, consistently, you're showing up in a way that feels really good and authentic and true for you.
So next, we're going to do something called Design Your 2016 Lifestyle Blueprint. Now, one thing that I believe to be true is that if you're building a business for the sake of building a business, you may get success, but its foundation, there's no clarification of the foundation, right? So what we do is we look at, why are you building a business? What's the lifestyle that your business is going to support? And so we're going to get super crystal clear on what it is that you want in your life, in your health, for your family. And then we can start to look at numbers. How much money does your business need to make to support that lifestyle?
So hopefully you're writing all of this down, taking notes, because whether you continue with us after this webinar or not, we want to give you powerful information, knowledge, tools, things that you can use and go into your life and your business right now and get more clarity and get more confidence and be positioned. We'd love to support you even further, but we want you to be taking notes and writing this information down so you have it for your reference. So the next step is set meaningful goals. So once you have really the foundational pieces that we've just laid out for you, then you can begin your goal setting. Most people will just randomly choose goals, and the goals aren't really in alignment with that deeper inner place, and that's why there's a lot of struggle for people, why it can feel so hard sometimes, because our goals are not in alignment. And so when we do this foundational work that we've just described for you, then we can set more meaningful goals that are more attainable, that we're more likely to reach. Mm-hmm. And so, you get clear on your vision, you get clear on your purpose, and you get clear on your values, right? And then you set your goals from that space.
I love it. So I want to just welcome Quintana Leader. She says, hola, goddesses. So hola, back to you.
Hi.
Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Larissa says, I really have to work on my limiting belief as it relates to money. And I will tell you, when you start to look at that limiting belief and you work on that and you clear it out, you open yourself to actually transforming the type of money that comes into your life. And I'm telling you this from personal experience.
And you are not alone.
You are not alone. Believe me. Believe me. And it's different at different levels. So there are millionaires that have limiting beliefs around money that prevent them from getting to their next level. So it works from 0 to infinity of whatever our personal next step is.
And wherever you are is perfect for you. Yeah. And there's always possibility. There's always, a place to expand into your next level calling, if you will. And so it's great. I love that you guys are acknowledging where you are and looking at, where you want to be. And that's really the first step.
Yes. And also Candy Islander, you said, can we see you? We cannot see you, but we feel you.
Your energy is with us.
Yes. And thank you for being here. So the next step is really create your platforms. So this is where you will design how you get your message out in the world. Do you want to speak, write, teach, create informational products? What is the thing that is in alignment with your personal style, your preferences, and your target audience? And I will tell you, this may change. So initially, speaking was not my platform. I could not breathe when I started speaking. I could not get oxygen to my brain, and I thought I would never be a public speaker. Well, it's something that I actually love at this point in my career, and I've worked my way into getting to that. So our platform may start off in one area, and it may grow as we expand in our work.
Yes, and so, and then our next step, number 8 on our slide there, is map out your 2016 success plan. So here is where you get down to the nitty-gritty of, this is kind of like the how part of it, right? So once you're clear on the what you want and what that looks like, and you have some goals set for yourself and your platform, then you can begin to map out exactly the steps to how you will achieve your goals and what that really looks like. And there's no guesswork in it. It's like, okay, this is what I need to do. I'm very clear on it. And let me just tell you, clarity is key, right?
It is.
So if you're not clear,
the universe knows it. Because it will send you things that show that you weren't clear. It'll send you a bunch of randomness, but when you get the clarity.
Yeah. And every obstacle it'll send you.
Exactly. And you're like, well, what about this? Oh, a bird.
So, but getting that clarity and just really being in a place of, and I believe Naja and I are very skilled and gifted in helping people with clarity. Like, this is one of the things I call myself a conscious clarity coach, because I really help people bring awareness to their experiences, to their mindset, to what their process is, that they're going through, bringing consciousness to that, and then getting really clear on who they are and what they want and how they can have that. Mm-hmm.
So our next step, and one of the fundamental piece of this whole process is really get support and accountability to actualize your plan. We all need support in actualizing our goals. You have to take inventory of the support you currently have and the gaps in where you could use more help and accountability to keep you on track with your goals. That is what I would say, that is where my gift lies, is really holding people accountable to what they say they want, and being able to read between the lines of what they're saying versus what they're doing, and then hold them accountable and to shift where they're not in alignment.
And I think actually this is one of, it's so important, and a lot of people come to me and they say, I just need accountability. Like, this is something that so many people struggle with. And so if this is you, you're not alone, most definitely. And there is a lot of support. So one of the things that we help you do is we help you look at what support do you currently have in your life already, and where are the gaps, so where could you fill in and get more support and have a really robust support system so that you're not doing it alone. we are social animals. We're not meant to do things alone. And also so that you have the accountability you need, and that might look in the form of a person, or it might look, structures that you put in place that keep you accountable and moving forward towards your goals and towards your vision, right?
And then step 10 is acknowledge, gratitude, and celebrate. And if you'll notice, we are at the end of a year, and that's exactly what we've done in this process. We've acknowledged our accomplishments. We've shown gratitude for both the lessons and everything that's come into our life, and we've celebrated all of that because we have to give ourselves that opportunity to just rejoice. Just rejoice.
I mean, this is where we started off our webinar tonight, and this is where we're, going to shortly be coming to a close. But we think it's so important before you move on to something else that you take the time to really reflect and acknowledge what you have done and where you have come, and really give yourself the due credit that you deserve, and to whatever celebration looks like for you, just to celebrate however you do that. And it's so important, it's key, in fact, that we do that before we move on, or before we look at, well, what didn't work, right? Taking inventory of what didn't work, so that we can do better next time. It's like, let's celebrate what did work.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so soulful success, as we've just described it, it really starts with you, and it starts now. It's not something that you wait for, and it's something that at each step we're always learning, right? We're always taking new information. And this process, it starts with you making a decision, and it starts with you making that decision now for what you want to create in this coming year.
And actually, we'd love to hear from you. What are you getting right now? Like, when we say soulful success, what's resonating most with you about that right now? So if you could just type that into the chat box for us, we'd love to hear your responses. What's resonating for you when you think of soulful success? How does that apply to your life or your business,
And just FYI, Justine and I have done a lot of videos and a lot of kind of promo opportunities, promo things for this webinar. And every time we say soulful, we're both like, soulful success.
And the shoulders go up and down.
It makes us want to dance. We're like, soulful success. You cannot say that word without energetically shifting immediately. Yes. And that was one of the things we wanted. Is how do we bring something even to with the words that we're using that shifts you from the moment you get started. And that is what we want to share with you right now, is an opportunity to shift how you're doing, how you're being, how you're living, and how you're building your business. We want to share with you right now.
So if you see the women in the slide, they're laughing, they're smiling. So part of soulful success to us is fun. I think for Naja and I both, it's a big value of ours. And so
we had a lot of laughter. This last week, we've laughed a lot. We've laughed at the absurdity. We've laughed at the challenges. Laughter has gotten us through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've gotten to know each other really quickly, and
my soul sister.
Yeah, and it's we've had our moments, and then we laugh about them, and it's just, that's what it's about. So we want to bring you along, and
we want to be that for you.
We want you to have fun with us. Yeah. We hope you're having fun with us right now.
So we're going to share a program that we've created. We're going to share a program that we've created that really is taking everything that we've done in creating our own businesses. It's taking what we've done to help our clients and their businesses, and it's taking it to a whole other level. And we want to share with you how you can become a Soulful Success member. And so let's get started.
Yeah.
In this program, here's what we're going to be doing with you. We're going to help you get clear on your unique purpose to become who you are meant in a powerful way.
You will integrate your top values into your business and life in a way that makes choosing the best next step easy and joyful. I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people, and me included, have or can agonize about, am I on the right path? Is this the right next step? What should I do? I'm not sure, second guessing and questioning. And when you're really clear about your values and they're integrated in your business and life, all of that becomes easy.
We're going to bring awareness to your limiting beliefs and gain tools to manage them effectively so they no longer stop you.
Yeah, the limiting beliefs is a big part of the work. You're gonna learn ways to eliminate your ineffective habits. We all have them, right? And create new habits that will keep you on track with your most meaningful goals.
You'll design your personal lifestyle blueprint so you know exactly how your business supports your life.
And we talked about your lifestyle blueprint earlier, so we're gonna actually walk you through and create that with you. Then set audacious goals that are attainable and aligned with your purpose and your vision.
You'll get clear about your platform and how you will get your message out there in a big way.
You'll create your strategic plan that maps out the exact steps you need to take to reach a six-figure year.
Woo! Woo! Six-figure year, baby. And we're going to do this in two ways. We know that some of you don't live in Long Beach, California, or may not even be available for our live event days, but we have a live event component. Now, both of these opportunities will allow you to either participate live or participate virtually, but you will get the exact same information. The only difference between these two programs is one, you'll be with us, so you'll actually have a lot of fun, and the other, you'll be virtual with us, which again, you'll have a lot of fun because you're with us. So our live events, we have 3 days, 2 separate events. Our first one focuses on the first half of Soulful Success, and that's on Sunday, December 6th from 10 to 5. And the second component where we really start mapping out your plan for 2016 and digging more into your numbers and how you're going to execute is Saturday and Sunday, January 16th and 17th.
And those are both in Long Beach, as Naja said.
Absolutely. And we want you here. Come. If you can fly to Long Beach, we would love to have you.
Yes. And then we also have a virtual workshop series option. And this is where we'll have 10 live virtual modules where we'll be on a call with you and live. And we will be delivering the same information that we do in the in-person events. And this is going to start the week of December 9th. And then we'll take a break for the holidays. And then we'll come back finishing really powerfully by the end of January, so that you have your plan for 2016 and you can begin to implement right away.
And I would say probably one of the most exciting parts of this, that whether you're live or virtual, you don't only get me as a coach, or you don't only get Justine as a coach, you get both of us. You get both of our hearts wanting to serve you. You get both of our brains wanting to educate you. You get both of our tough love that's going to kind of kick your buns into action at times, but you get 2 for the price of 1. So when you register to become a Soulful Success, we were trying to think of a name like Soulful Success Sister. Well, okay, then what about the guys? But when you become a member of our Soulful Success community, there's going to be some fun bonuses. One, obviously, what's a group about really a Facebook community these days? Facebook communities are really helping people to bridge the information that you get outside of that you get when you're with us into just supporting each other outside of our one-on-one time. You're also going to get, and this is really only for the first 5 people, so you're going to want to really run and register if this is something that is inspiring to you to join us. But you're going to get one-on-one power strategy session with both Justine and I. And that means that you will have both of us working on your business with you and looking at that mapped out plan that you created and helping you plan your execution strategy. And that will just be us, like one-on-one, diving deep. 1 hour live virtual mastermind with both the live and the virtual Soulful Success members. So everyone will come together at the end of our time, at the end of January, or possibly beginning of February. We actually haven't identified that quite yet. But we will all come together and mastermind for a good amount of time, where you can share your stories, what you've learned, how you're executing, your challenges, your excitement, what you're celebrating. And so we'll have this live virtual mastermind for everyone to join in.
And then the Facebook community really will be there for support and structure and accountability for you, which is, we think is so important, that once you go through a program or a process, that you know, you're not left on your own, that you then have the support and you have accountability to keep you moving forward. And that's so important.
It's so important. It's what we've had with coaches that we've worked with. It's what we give to clients that we work with. And it's what Justine and I will be doing together with all of you who become a part of our Soulful Success community. So now the question is, are you in? Does this sound like something that you need, want, desire to support you in creating your ultimate success in 2016? I have put a link into our comments section that you can go in, you can find out some more information, and you can register to become a member of our Soulful Success community. And we cannot wait to further serve you all in this coming year, to end it all in 2015 and start 2016 off right.
Yay. Soulful Success. Okay, I just want to read it. Okay, you know.
Stop it.
Do we have another slide?
Nope.
Oh, that's it. So shall we tell them the investment? And yeah, so let's tell you that. And I'm going live now.
Okay, guys, so
all right,
we're actually jumping back in.
And you can see us. Oh. Can you still hear us?
Did I just leave it?
No.
Can you see us?
Hey, guys.
Uh-oh.
All right, we're actually jumping back in.
Oh, there we are.
Yay.
Okay, so we think that you can see us. I hope you can see us. Can you? I'm sorry. Okay.
Can you see us? Hey, guys. Uh-oh. Big delay.
There we go. That was my bad. Okay. My bad. My bad.
Hi.
Hi, we're back.
Yeah, we are going to wrap this up now because we know that you're all busy and that it's time to get back to whatever you're doing and being with your families and preparing for tomorrow. So we really appreciate you being here. Yeah. So Naja, let's tell them what the investment is, and then we encourage you to run over there. That bonus, just with having a call with Naja and myself alone, is huge value. That's a $600 value that you're getting. So
what we're about to tell you is what it takes to work with us. You can go to the register link and actually get the details, but it's $9.97 for you to work with us. This is actually a $19.97 product, but you all are going to be part of our beta. This is our first time doing Soulful Success in the way that it's going to be done. And so this price will never be this price again. You're getting 3 days of live events to prepare your powerful 2016. And what we really want to create for you is, if you are already a six-figure business, how do you elevate that and really expand? If you've never made 6 figures, we're going to help you create that plan on how to get there. The programs that you need to. So we're going to have the solid foundational business aspect, but we're also going to really start with the purpose, the vision, the beliefs, like that, getting your mindset together. That's how it's going to start. So you get those 3 live events, or if you can't attend live and that doesn't work for you and your schedule, then we give you the virtual component. So it's $9.97. Again, it will never be this price. You get all of the bonuses. I'm sure between Justine and I will be throwing in new bonuses just because we love really giving great value, and we love for people to have an opportunity to expand. And so any way that we can make that happen for you, we would love to make that happen. Head on over to the link. You can register now. It's pay in full is $9.97. If you'd like to actually have some sort of payment plan, reach out to us. We want to support you. If this is something that makes sense for you and it makes sense for what you want to create, we want to make it accessible to everyone. So, just take an opportunity to email us, and I want to know what you thought of this. So, for me, I created the PowerPoint slides, and I was creating it, and I was like, Justine, I want to take this class.
We think we're not biased or anything, but we think it's like a super amazing deal, actually, that we're giving you, because if you just do some of the work in this process, you're getting a complete foundation for your life and your business. And then we're going to be mapping out a whole year in your business. You're going to walk away with personal growth, transformation, and actual steps, an actionable plan that you can take and make money in your business. And so it's worth way more than what we're charging for it. But you know what? Like Naja said, we're coming together for the first time to bring you this program, and we want to offer it at a price that we feel is more than reasonable and fair. And we would love for you to be part of our launch group.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So head on over to the comments, click on the link. Let us know if you have questions. Let us know. Head on over to Facebook. I'm facebook.com/Naja Hayward. Let us know what you thought of this time together, of this event, of this webinar. We'd love to hear your thoughts and see how we can support you in the future. We wish you all the happiest of Thanksgiving. We wish you much joy, much love, much gratitude, and prosperity in your lives.
I was just reading a beautiful comment from Quintana about what soulful success means, and that's beautiful. Quintana, thank you for sharing that with us. We are out of time now, but we thank you all so much for spending this time with us. We wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. Yes. We're grateful for you, and we hope that you'll join us in either our live events or they're all live, but either in person so we can
live
see
virtual
you,
or live
or on our virtual event, and we'll be in touch soon. So
we love you.
Thank you.
Best
Bye,
to you
guys.
all. Happy Thanksgiving.